Hello, one and all. Welcome back to another exciting episode of Manly Voices. I'm Evan, also known as Manly Ankles. Welcome back to Aviary Attorney. So, last time we did all our investigating that we needed to do. May or may not have involved some breaking and entering, and lying about said breaking and entering. And now we're starting our trial for Caroline de Miao. So, let's call our first witness, prosecution.
Oh gosh, are we there already? Oh, okay. I choose to call the officer in charge of the murder investigation, Inspector Volerty, to the witness stand.
Inspector Volerty, please approach the stand and recite the oath. Oh.
I shall will, Your Honor. I swear to speak without hatred and without fear, to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth. Monsieur, Inspector, please state your, name and occupation for the record.
My name is Inspector Trusty Volerty. I am a servant to the law, a scourge of the gutter rats and the plague in this city. I have enforced the law for over 20 years, and I shall continue to until I bring the infamous Viridian killer to justice. My path begins 18 years ago. Let's just stick to the questions, Inspector. Of course, Your Honor. Oh, great. I was hoping we could have one of those bumbling, cuddly officers, but instead we're stuck with lawful goody two-shoes. I bet this guy would turn his own mother in if he saw her littering.
Inspector, is it true that you are the lead investigator on this case?
That is correct. I was also among the first to arrive at the scene of the crime.
Then perhaps you can walk us through what you witnessed upon your arrival.
Absolutely. Just after 7:30, we were alerted and brought to the scene by the housemaid of Baron Rogier. At the scene of the crime, we found Dame Caroline de Miao. She was standing over the corpse of Monsieur Greenway with his blood on her paws.
Oh, well, that sounds like an open and shut case, in my humble opinion. No more questions, Your Honor.
Bloody paws? Nobody told me that detail.
Keep it together, Falcon. You're about to be given the opportunity to cross-examine the witness. That's your opportunity to find flaws in the inspector's testimony.
Of course, I know this. You may begin your cross-examination, Monsieur Falcon. Oh boy. Cross-examine witnesses to find flaws in his testimony. Select a key phrase you find suspicious and Falcon will press the witness for information. Ask the right questions to bring the truth to light. Avoid pressing for pointless details. The judge and jury don't like having their time wasted. Okay, so we can't do like what we do in Phoenix Riot. Select the statement to question. We were alerted and brought to the scene by the housemaid of Baron Rogier. At the scene of the crime, we found she was standing over the sliced open corpse with blood on her paws. Let's question this statement because that's the most obvious thing to me. Inspector, you say Dame Caroline had blood on her paws.
Correct! Blood clung to her fur like guilt to a convict.
Whose blood was it? Whose blood was it?
Ha! What a question! It was Monsieur Greenway's, of course.
But I have an idea to the contrary. How can you be so sure?
I object! This line of questioning is absurd! There was only one murder victim that night, Falcon. The blood on Dame Caroline's paws could have only belonged to one person, Monsieur Greenway. Judge, Falcon's trying to delay the trial by asking pointless questions.
I'm afraid the prosecution may have a point, Monsieur Falcon. Do you have any reason to suspect that the blood belonged to someone other than Monsieur Greenway? I do. I do, Your Honor. Actually, I have more than suspicion. I have evidence that the blood on Dame Caroline's paws had nothing to do with the murder.
This foolish time-wasting, Falcon. If the blood on Dame Caroline's paws didn't come from the victim, then where did the blood come from?
This raw steak. Take that! On the evening of the murder, Dame Caroline ate a bloody rare steak. Is this true, Monsieur Robinson?
In a matter of speaking, I suppose steak may have been on the menu.
Then, Inspector, would you acknowledge the possibility that the blood on the lady's paws did not belong to the victim, but to the steak?
Well? Wait! Don't answer that, Inspector!
It is a possibility.
No!
Intriguing, pretty convincing. I gained a little favor with the jury. Fuck yeah. So, Inspector Filetti, is it possible that you arrested an innocent bystander simply for being a messy eater?
Now hold on just 1 minute, Falcon. You are overlooking something quite crucial. Dame Cataline is an elegant bourgeois kitten. She was no doubt brought up with flawless etiquette and a perfect table manners. At the banquet, she would have eaten the steak with a fork in her left hand and a knife in her right, like any proper civilized animal. How could she have possibly gotten blood on her paws with such good manners?
Oh, that is a good question. Or at least it would be at any ordinary dinner boat banquet. But as it happens, something was missing from that particular banquet, something that forced Dame Cataline to eat with her paws.
The cutlery.
Dame Cutlery was forced to eat steak with her paws because the silverware of the household had been previously stolen.
Stolen? I don't recall any mention of that in the police report.
We weren't aware of anything missing from the Rogier residence when we performed the initial investigation.
But as it happened, Baron Rogier approached us about this very subject last night.
Innocent, perhaps. What a twist. Cool. What is the meaning of all this? Bloody steak? Misplaced silverware? Inspector, was your investigation so lax that you overlooked these basic facts in your initial report?
Lax? My investigation? Judge, I assure you I am the most thorough investigative officer on the force.
Then it is amazing that the Parisian police managed to solve any crimes at all. Oh dear. Be on your way, Inspector. Perhaps do a little inspecting for your next case.
Well, we made fun of that chicken. Fine, so be it, messieurs. Until next time.
Excuse me. Prosecutor, I trust your next witness is ready.
Yes, of course, Your Honor. I call upon, let's see, Monsieur Robinio, the photographer who attended the banquet on the night of the murder.
Monsieur Robinio, please approach the stand and recite the oath.
How does it go? I swear to speak without hatred and without fear, to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth. It's a little cliché to be perfectly...
Oh my gosh, excuse me.
To be perfectly honest. Could the witness please introduce himself for the court record?
As if anybody in this courtroom does not immediately recognize me. I am the great Monsieur Robinio, a cutting-edge photographer and visionary. I don't just take people pictures, I capture their very essence. Je suis l'artiste, tu es une pipe. You may have seen my works in hip magazines, Le Brochet, or C'est Chaud. I can send you tweets if you like. What on earth is a tweet?
Bird-to-bird communication. Come on, Falcon, it's the 19th century. Get with the times already.
Oh, this is so funny.
Yes, your works are very, impressive, Monsieur Robinio. But let's get down to business. Could you tell us your activities on the night of the murder?
I want it to be known that I'm actively shaking to to help with the nervous energy of Rabington.
Very well. I was hired by Baron Rogier to capture the evening's events. I arrived at 7 in the evening. I pointed my camera and captured the beauty of the banquet in one fantastic photograph. Then I billed Baron Rogier and left.
Like a true artist.
And, with regards to the photograph itself, who did you photograph?
I thought you might ask.
I brought a copy so that you could all see for yourselves. Oh, very good. Let's take a closer look.
Whoa, that's incorrect.
My word, this is an exquisite picture, isn't it? So let's see, who do we have here? In the middle, we see Baron Rogier, the lion who hosted the event. On the left, we see Seigneur Pourtois de Mal, the father of the defendant, Dame Cataline. And finally, we see the housemaid, Colleen Duhaut, who I suspect may have snuck into the picture uninvited. As you can see, 2 people are clearly absent from the photograph. The first is the victim, Monsieur Grimouille. The second is the defendant, Dame Cataline de Miao. Quite suspicious, wouldn't you agree?
I wonder if we hadn't broken into the house, we would have walked away without this crucial piece of evidence. Just a moment, Monsieur Rabington. This proves nothing. So the defendant and the victim were not photographed with the others. That doesn't mean that they were in the garden together at that point.
Hold your horses, Falcon. I'm not done yet.
The prosecution may continue.
Behind the photograph subjects, we see a clock that doesn't have any fuck! There's so many inconsistencies in this case. Behind the photograph subjects, we see a wall clock with the time set at 7:30. Now, why is that time significant? Well, as Inspector Valenti told us earlier, that was the exact time the murder took place. Do you see, Falcon? Every suspect has an alibi at the time of the murder, save for Dame Cataline herself. Hey, Falcon, that photograph doesn't seem right. It looks different from the one we borrowed from Robinio's studio.
I see it too. Our photograph shows Colline Duhart, Dame Cataline, and Signor Potois. But Monsieur Robinio's photograph shows Baron Rogier where the Dame's Cataline should be standing. If we assume that only one photograph was taken, then this demonstrates that one of the photographs must have been edited in some way.
You should just slam that evidence down. Be like, BAM! Inconsistency! This whole courtroom is out of order! Case closed!
I can't do that.
Well, I suppose you could be a little more delicate with your words.
No, I mean I can't do that because our evidence was illegally obtained. If I were to present it, Monsieur Robinio would ask how we acquired it, and the whole trial could derail. In a worst-case scenario, I could lose my legal license, and we could be arrested for theft.
Oh, well, we don't want that.
No, we don't. I should tread lightly.
Alright, so we only need to point out that the clock shouldn't have had any hands.
Your Honor, I would like to cross-examine the witness. Very well, the defense may proceed.
It's a waste of time, if you ask me. Photographs are rock-solid evidence.
Okay. Select a statement to question. I arrived at 7 p.m. Beauty of the evening's events in one magnificent photograph. Then I billed Baron Rogier and left. Alright, set up my camera. Either this one or the photograph. Let's do the photograph. Let's take a closer look at this photograph. I see a mistake in the photograph. Just to clarify, Monsieur Robinio, the photographs are a direct reflection of reality, are they not?
That is correct. The photographic process leaves no room for bias or inaccuracies.
That is most curious, because I see a mistake.
A mistake? Impossible! I just told you, monsieur, the camera is a perfect, unbiased device. The photographs it produces are flawless. Falcon, I'm not seeing any, mistakes. Perhaps you should be more specific.
Certainly. Click on the area of the photograph. The clock. The clock in this photograph. There is something not right about it.
Well, isn't that convenient? The defense sees something wrong with the key piece of evidence that implicates his client.
Don't give me that cocky tone, Monsieur Robington. I have evidence that there's something wrong with the clock in that picture. There we go. Take that. The photograph clearly shows the clock's hands pointing at 7 and 6.
That much is self-evident.
Which is most curious, because the clock in the lounge of Chateau Criniere had no hands.
It has no hands?
The clock is merely a decorative piece, a talking item. Feel free to ask Baron Rogier or his housemaid if you have doubts. Monsieur Robinio, how do you explain this discrepancy?
I don't know. There must be some sort of mistake. My camera is flawless.
There is no mistake, monsieur. Your photograph depicts something that does not exist in the real world.
Maybe there was an error in the printing process.
An error precisely where the clock's hand should be? Please, monsieur, don't patronize us. Allow me to offer a more plausible explanation. You, Monsieur Robinio, edited this photograph.
Edited it?
I'm no expert, but I suspect that you used paint or ink to carefully put hands upon the clock. It would have been a simple task, considering that the clock face was bare. One could even speculate that you specifically chose to include a handless clock in the photograph just to simplify the editing process. You were very adamant about setting up right there, too.
Falcon, your reasoning is absurd. Why would the witness do such a thing?
Is it not obvious? By showing the photograph to have taken place at precisely 7:30, it clears all the photograph subjects of suspicion. In other words, Monsieur Robinio created a perfect alibi. You're in trouble now, Robinio. Of course, this raises further questions. Who is the witness protecting? And why? Was Monsieur Robinio coerced, bribed, threatened? All three, maybe? Enough silence! Let's hear some answers, Monsieur Robinio.
Fine! You've got me! I'm guilty! I did it all!
You did it? You're confessing to the murder of Monsieur Greenway? What? No. I have no idea who killed the frog. I'm just admitting to that I'm guilty of producing fraudulent photographs. I was ordered to make changes to the printed photographs. And yes, that included adding hands to the clock. You were ordered? By whom?
I dare not say.
Well, we'll extract that confession out of you next time on Manly Voices, Mr. Robinio. And we will get down to the bottom of this case, and I'm sure I know where it's going from here. So thank you everybody so much for watching. If you like this video, leave a like down below. Please subscribe for more voice acting adventures, and please leave a comment on what you think I should voice act next. Until next time, bye everybody!